In today's lecture, we're going to take a look at section 6.3, polynomials. Today's objectives, we're going to classify polynomials, and write polynomials in standard form. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to evaluate polynomial expressions. Now, a monomial is a number, a variable, or a product of a number and variable with whole number exponents. So for example, a monomial means mono, single. So the number 3, that is a monomial. X is a monomial. 4x is a monomial, because that's a product of a number and a variable. 7x to the third power is a monomial. Negative 32x y squared z to the fifth is a monomial. Not a monomial. X to the 1/2 is not a monomial because the exponent is not a whole number. X to the -4 is not a monomial because -4 is not a whole number. It's a negative number. So negative exponents indicate not a monomial. So not a monomial, negative exponents. Fractional exponents. If we see those are not going to be a monomial. So now the degree of a monomial, once we've determined it's a monomial, is the sum of the exponents of the variables. A constant has a degree of 0. So that number 3 up there, the degree is 0. X squared has degree 2. 4x squared so 4x squared y cubed has a degree, well, it says the sum of the exponents. So my exponents are 2 plus 3, which is 5. So the degree of that monomial would be 5. Negative 2x squared y cubed z to the 4th has degree of 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is 9. So the degree of that monomial is 9. Okay. A polynomial is a monomial or a sum or difference of monomials. So remember, x is a monomial, 3 is a monomial. We also consider them polynomials. Now if we take their sum or difference, x plus 3 is a polynomial. X minus 3 is a polynomial. 3 minus x is a monomial also. Well, we can have lots of different polynomials. So x squared plus 3x minus 7 is a polynomial. It is the sum or difference of our monomials. So we look, x squared is a monomial, 3x is a monomial, 7 is a monomial. That is going to be a polynomial. 4x squared y plus 2x minus 3y. That is a polynomial also. 4x squared, that's a monomial. 2x is a monomial. Negative 3y is a monomial. When you combine them by addition or subtraction, we do have a polynomial. Now, the degree of the polynomial is the degree of the term with the greatest degree. So let's look at that 4x squared y plus 2x minus 3y. Well, let's look at the degree of the first one. we've got an x squared and a y to the first. Add the exponents, we get a 3. Here, the degree is 1 because x is raised to the first power. For the third term, y is raised to the first power. It has a degree of 1. The degree here would be the greatest one. So it's going to be 3. That is the degree of the highest term. Let's look at another one. 3x squared y to the fourth minus 2x to the fifth y plus 7x cubed y to the fifth. We look at each one of those. Each one of those is a monomial on its own. Find the degree of each. 2 and 4, degree is 6. 5 and 1, degree is 6. 3 and 5, degree is 8. Because remember, to find the degree of a monomial, we add the exponents together. So we look and find, okay, 6, 6, 8. Which one's the largest? 8 is the largest. So this has degree of 8. So the degree of the polynomial is the degree of the term with the highest power. Standard form of a polynomial. A polynomial with one variable is written with the terms in order from greatest degree to least degree. So for example, 4x squared plus 3x plus 7. That is standard form. We go in descending powers of our variable. X squared, x, and then nothing. So you could have 7x to the fifth plus 3x to the fourth plus 2x plus 1. Powers were 5, 4, 1, and 0. Remember, a constant has a degree of 0. So we have 5, 4, 2, 1, 0. That is in standard form. So if we have something like 3x to the third plus 5x to the fifth minus 2x plus 4x squared plus 9, notice that is not in standard form. So we could rewrite it in form. Highest power is x to the fifth. And then we have an x cubed term. Then x squareds. And then our x terms. And then our constant. So to rewrite that in standard form, we end up with 5x to the fifth plus 3x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2x plus 9. Now, once we have it in standard form, we can identify the leading coefficient. So 3x squared plus 4x minus 9 is in standard form. The leading coefficient is going to be the coefficient of the first term. So it's going to be 3. Negative 2x to the fifth plus 4x minus 6. The leading coefficient is going to be negative 2. So the coefficient of the first term, when we're written in standard form, we call that the leading coefficient. To classify polynomials by the number of terms, let's look at if we have one term, the name we give that is a monomial. If we have two terms, we call that a binomial. 3 terms, we call it a trinomial. And 4 or more, we give that, we don't have any more special names, so we just call it a polynomial. Now, monomials, binomials, trinomials, they are all polynomials, but if we're just talking about monomials themselves, we can just use a single term. Binomials have 2 terms, trinomials have 3 terms. Classify them by their degree. So, if we have a degree of 0, we call that a constant. Example, the number 4 has a degree of 0. It is a constant. Degree of 1, we call that linear. 2x plus 5 is linear. X is raised to the first power. Degree of 2, we call that a quadratic. 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. So x squared is a quadratic. Degree of 3, call it a cubic. X cubed minus 1 is a cubic, raised to the third power. Fourth, quartic. So 2x to the fourth is called a quartic. Degree 5, we call it a quintic. So x to the fifth minus 2x cubed, we'll call that a quintic. 6 or more, it's polynomial of degree 6, 7, 8, and so on. So that's all we have for polynomials. We're getting ourselves set up so that we can add polynomials, subtract polynomials, and multiply polynomials.